All right, peace, everyone. Welcome to the Moroccan Post School of Government and International Law, advanced study group. This is session number 2, February 15, 2024. All right, we have a doozy for you today. I don't see the names up there, Terrence.
What was that?
On the screen. I don't. All right. We have that. We have this the logo. All right. So we see here
Yeah, I'm
the
switching it
school
now.
logo. All right, the school logo, the Moroccan Post School of Government and International Law.
Right.
So we have the the instructors of the
Trying to
school,
get it.
the founders of the school, Terrence.
Can you see this?
All right, Terrence Bey, co-founder and administrator. Shir Malachi Bey, co-founder and curriculum developer and teacher. Abdullah Il Mosi Bey, co-founder, curriculum developer and teacher. King El Bey, teacher. All right, for recorded courses and seminars on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube, Moorish Body Politic Formation, Constitution and Governmental Principle course, 12 classes. We have the Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relations 101, Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relations 201. We have the upcoming study books supplementing the recorded courses, Treaty Enforcement and International Law Study Book, Consular Notification and Study Book, Central Authority Study Book, Writ of Quo Warranto Study Book, Letter of Regulatory Study Book, Moorish Body Politic Study Book. Whoever defines the language controls the issue. The basic tool for the manipulation of reality is the manipulation of words. If you can control the meaning of words, you can control the people who must use them. Philip K. Dick. All right. So Terrence,
What's up?
All right. So I'm gonna put my phone up. I'm gonna put my phone. Yeah, I'm gonna play the video. All right. I want you to read this, Terrence. I want you to read this and play the video. Put my phone on mute. Read it and play the video.
Okay. All right. So this is session 2. Jurisdictional Competency. February 15th, 2024. Developing jurisdictional competency among the Moors through the analysis of jurisdictional incompetency. What can a Moor accomplish individually outside the Moorish treaties to help all the conscious and unconscious Moors? Excerpt from Moorish Body Politic Formation Session, June 2nd, 2021. Points of analysis, jurisdictional incompetence statements. It's not about jurisdiction. It's about the contract. This was a statement made to the court. If I have a valid contract with you, show it as material evidence. These are actually statements that the brother made during these sessions, so y'all know where this comes from, and I'll play the video in a few. When I beat my traffic ticket, I don't get into nationality. I don't have to prove nothing to them. When I got pulled over by a state trooper in Ohio, I used the Michigan state constitution just to prove a point. I use the Constitution, Michigan Constitution. I don't use the treaties. I get remedy. I use the Constitution as my benefit. I don't have a contract with you. Who are you? As a matter of fact, who has a claim against me? A conscious Moor said to the brother in Michigan jurisdiction, we have our own courts. Response by the brother in Michigan jurisdiction, I use the common law, which is common sense. Remedy or keeping our mother in a coma, a prolonged state of unconsciousness, politically inactivity, and absence from the family of nations. The waiver of Moorish sovereignty and the continued subjugation of the Moors, the usurpation of Moorish sovereignty, and continued collapse, disintegration, dismemberment of our Moroccan empire, pre-existing a Moorish political governing body, maintaining the burial of the Moorish, excuse me, let me start over. Maintaining the burial of our pre-existing Moorish sovereignty, Moorish treaties and Moorish protection, capitulatory extraterritoriality, extraterritorial consular jurisdiction, Moorish diplomacy, Moorish consular relations, and Moorish consular courts. Give me a second, and I'll play the video here. Sorry for this presentation, Moors. My Visual Studio isn't working right now. So here we go.
Islam, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Better make 'em. Man, we have a good one for you tonight.
Can everyone see this?
It is wonderful to be here.
Yeah.
I thank everyone
Okay.
for tuning in. Malachi Bey and Abdullah Il Mosi Bey, yours truly. All right, present to you to be or not to be the refugee, the 1951 Refugee Convention. We're going to begin with a video, a 3-minute video audio clip. We're going to go into jurisdictional incompetence, points of analysis. Excerpt from Moorish Body Politic Formation Meeting, June 2nd, 2021. So this was a record. This is a 3-minute audio from that meeting, and we actually on the board we have we did the write-up of the presentation, but the 3-minute clip is on the board. So we're going to analyze the points that you see on the board. All right, so we're going to play the 3-minute audio, and we're going to analyze it in the context of jurisdictional incompetence, points of analysis.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan. One of my good dear brothers. He's been enlightening me on the information that you all provided, and so he should be listening too, because him and I we have healthy debates about this, so it's always to build at the end of the day. Then so but he's kind of going against what I use. I use the Constitution. I don't use the treaties. I use the Constitution. I'm in Michigan. I use the Constitution. I get remedy. If I ever got locked up, a habeas corpus, so you can moonwalk right out of court. I don't have to use a bond. My word is bond. If I had $100 million bond set, you can be released on your own recognizance. He told me, well, you don't use the Constitution because we're not a party to the Constitution. I said, well, I can use it as my benefit. That's just like, I haven't used a driver's license since 2015. It's not valid. I don't use it. I revoke it. I've been pulled over by 2 state troopers, no license, speeding, no insurance. They look at me like, God damn, nigga. I'm like, yeah, public servant. Now, I'm not rude and disrespectful. Do I respect the cop? Absolutely not. I don't respect the judge, but I won't be disrespectful. See, so when I got pulled over, I beat a traffic ticket in Ohio. I used the Michigan Constitution just to prove a point I could do with and it's no disrespectful to you all, but this is how I talk to my brother. And I'm like, I can do what the fuck I want, but you have to know who you are and who they are not, which is a corporate fiction. It's about contract. Because he was like, it's about jurisdiction. It ain't about no damn jurisdiction. It's about a contract. Do I got a valid contract with you right now? Show it. Show this material evidence. I'm in court. He said, you don't go in court. And I heard this a lot of times because I have family members that are Moors too. I mean, we all are Moors. We don't know that. I grew up in the nation. They know me like the back of their hand. Nobody has more structure than them. If only they knew about this nationality. Most of them don't know about that. I mean, a lot know, but when I beat my traffic tickets, I don't even get into nationality because I don't have to prove nothing to them. You had a claim against me. My point is, I don't got a contract with you. Who are you? Matter of fact, who has a claim against me? I've been in court. I got a recorder on my phone, 36th District, Detroit, Michigan. Hell, they kicked me out of the courthouse. This is recorded on my phone. So when I go in there to make a point. That's the belly of the beast. When people say, we got our own courts. Yeah, I am the court. I use the common law, which is common sense. When I'm in court, they say, okay, state your name for the record. I got to do this bullshit and state my name a different way. My name is Akil from the Mixon family, hereby special appearance only to handle all affairs for the ends leaks. Don't nobody in court know what the hell I'm talking about, but that so-called judge. First thing the judge said was, oh, now I got your interrogatory. I didn't even have to do interrogatory.
What is your question?
Oh, pardon. Oh, well, basically, so when you say we can't use the Constitution, and well, this is what my brother was telling me. My dear brother was telling me, I can't use the Constitution because I'm not a party to that. I beg to differ, and I'm just trying to get more information of where he's getting this information, saying you can't use the Constitution when I used it and I got remedy.
All right. Yes. So we have on the screen, you see, we have the excerpts of some of the quotes. It is not about jurisdiction. It is about the contract. Statement made to the court: if I have a valid contract with you, show it as material evidence.
Stop right there. Now,
What's that?
here's a man, say I'm of Michigan. That's a ward, a refugee. So he acknowledging out of his mouth that he's a ward and refugee. That there's no mistake about that in law. Not in your personal opinions of how you think or how you feel. Talking about positive law now. You're on the negative law side. I mean, you've been denied culture. The second thing is, you claim you use the Constitution of the state of Michigan. Now, hear me out. The only one that can bring a claim to the Constitution of Michigan is a citizen of the provincial colonies that was handed down a charter by the crowns. The Dred Scott makes it clear that you don't have any African descent. Now, let me, so we don't get mixed up. Well, I'm not African. Yes, you are. You're Moor. Africans are Moor. They're attacking the Moor. They're attacking the Moorish inheritance. They're attacking the Moor's consanguinity. So you made a statement about do you have a valid contract with you? Yes, you do have a valid contract with them. If you claim in the courtroom as a Moor under political allegiance, under national status, under nationality, and the national status of a government in Morocco, yes, there is a contract called a treaty. If you're going to use the Constitution of Michigan and say, do I have a contract with you? They do have a contract with you. It's an applied contract and an express contract dating coming from your mother when she went into the hospital and put you in labor. She pushed you out in a foreign vessel without a country, claiming a country or a flag. So your mother is considered lost at sea and assumed to be a refugee. Therefore, all her goods are confiscated in custody. So they do have a contract, an applied and express contract. Because all your life when you grew up, you went to the government for everything. Not your government. You didn't go to no government in Morocco. You went to their government for the house get caught on fire. You call the police, call a fire engine. A bad thing happened, you call 911. You need a house to live in. You go to a political zone where the erection of a house is controlled by owned by the state of origin. So you see, there is a contract. So they just grant you grace and mercy, but not put you in jail. Let's go to the next one. That's the material fact.
All right. So when I beat my traffic ticket, I don't get into nationality. I don't have to prove nothing to them.
Now, because I've been through this before, so I can speak. When you beat your traffic ticket, in order for that ticket to be thrown out, you will have to give the court's power to speak. So that means you are entered into a contract with the court by walking in there, by filing something, by addressing a judge or commissioner or peace officer or magistrate on a benefit of a right that you claim in a contract. So therefore they got jurisdiction. So you went to them for a remedy as a what? Now, what status did you go to him as? You didn't go to him as a Moor because you said you don't use nationality or national status. So that means you went in either as a United States national, a resident, or a corporate, a colorable citizen, or a refugee, which all of them fall under refugee, by the way. Now, let's address, I didn't I don't give the nationality. That means you don't have a country. You're not claiming to be a political allegiance to a country. I mean, you're a refugee, which we're going to talk about later. I don't have to prove nothing to them. You're absolutely right. You ain't got no business in there. The consul supposed to be there. You ain't got to prove nothing. You ain't supposed to be trying to prove nothing. They don't have jurisdiction. So the very reason that you in there, that means you unconscious of what you're doing. Next.
All right. When I got pulled over by a state trooper in Ohio, I used the Michigan state constitution just to prove a point.
Now, let me explain what happened. What you did was gave the cop jurisdiction the moment you quote the constitution of that state. The cop is authorized and licensed to work as a code enforcement under a subdivision of the state, a child of the state, which is a creature of the law. The moment you say, I use the Michigan Constitution, you get a cop jurisdiction. You gave him jurisdiction. Because you're using something that your ancestors not even a party to. Your ancestors are a party to sign on Michigan Constitution. So why are you using the Michigan Constitution? Because you ain't got a damn political national status of allegiance to a country or your own state in Morocco. And the reason you didn't beat the ticket, the judge is ruling your favor because he didn't want you to mess up his commercial activities, business. Let's go.
I use the Constitution, Michigan. I don't use treaties. I get remedy.
Okay. I use the Constitution of Michigan, meaning that you are telling Michigan that you have equal protection under the Constitution of the United States under the 14th Amendment. That's the only way you're going to get any rights to that. And that means now you will consider a ward, a refugee seeking a remedy from your master. You the servitude ward, refugee that's going into a foreign state without a country, asking them to give you a remedy. And I use the Constitution of Michigan as my benefit. That means you say it's benefiting you. That means they're your protector. Your allegiance is to them, your ward. Let's go.
Address the fact that he said I don't use the treaties.
Okay. The reason why you don't use the treaties, because you're not claiming, even though you might not acknowledge yourself under Moor's consequentity blood pedigree, but you're not claiming a political allegiance status under a state or nation or ecclesiastical body that's in the dominion of Morocco, the empire. And you're not using the treaties as your protection because you don't consider yourself a Moor under political status. Your Moor's political status is not tied to this flag right here. That's why you don't use the treaties. And you was not trained or taught the benefit of the treaty, the authority of the treaty, the delegated authority in the treaty to an officer. Just like you go in front of a judge because you've been trained that the judge have authority to adjudicate your matter, well, a Moor under Moor's political status as a national know that a state, the head of state, consul appointed by the head of state, or a judge, a mufti, judge, or the consul has the exclusive jurisdiction over the judge, over the president, over the United States government and the state government. You don't know that. Let's go on.
All right. Getting heated up here. I don't have a contract with you. Who are you? As a matter of fact, who has a claim against me?
You have. I went this earlier. You do have a contract with him. The moment your mother went aboard the vessel, that's a voyage. She went there for aid, for her protection. She went there for a service, an aid. Therefore, she pushed out her goods. Her child is her goods, her merchandise. It belongs to her. It's the property of your mother. Therefore, because the mother don't have a country or not protected under country or flag, and her goods, which is her child, does not have a country or under flag. It's a Moor by blood pedigree, but there's no national status allegiance of a country that she's from, unprotected. So therefore, she's down as a refugee. The name she named you is the property, she is the property of the state because you're not considered as a person having a country. You lost that seed. So you do have a contract as a refugee award of the state. That's why you use the Constitution. Boards of the state use the Constitution for protection.
All right. Let's continue right along here. A conscious Moor said to him, "We have our own courts." His response, "I use the common law, which is common sense."
Let me explain something to you. You're not using common law. No, you're not. You're not using common law. Because if you use common law, that's Moorish culture, and you wouldn't be in that courtroom. You're not using common law. That means you're not using Moorish ancient civilized nations culture. You're not using Moorish culture. See, British, when you hear the British common law, that's the Moorish law culture. That's the Moorish culture. That's embodied with jurisprudence, equity, the value of decisions, judgments made of ancient covenants, statutes, decrees, epistles of ancient governments, which bring the value of equity, because the decisions and judgments are body in them. What you call we call it jurisprudence. That's jurisprudence, culture. So common law is Moorish culture that they adopted to make them civilized to be a government, to operate as a people on earth. Let's go.
All right. A conscious Moor said to him, you can't use the Constitution, Michigan Constitution. You are not a party to it." His response, "How can you say I can't use the Michigan Constitution? I get remedy." So we address this, or go this in.
As a Moor of consanguinity, and a Moor claiming a national political status to a province or state or nation in Morocco. One like that cannot use the Constitution because it's under protection of that nation or state that's protected under this flag. Now, if you are a ward and don't know it, or a refugee, which is called United States national, a resident of the state, or a legal, or they call it a legal alien, or a stateless party, you can use that Constitution because what gives you the rights under that Constitution is the 14th Amendment. Next, which is a foreign franchise colony of the France, Great Britain, Sweden, Portuguese, German, all this. Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to address this. A jurisdictional analysis. How was the political state?
All right. Is that all you wanted to play, Abdullah?
Yes, that's it.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna open it up for discussion. We open it up for comments and questions. All right. So Shim is going to field comments and questions for the next 30 minutes. For the next 35 minutes, Shim will field comments and questions.
I would encourage everyone to look at this video. It's called Refugee, to Be or Not to Be. And we do have that on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. So please look at that. I mean, it's a great video. So even the part that Abdullah did. So it's a really good video.
We're gonna put it in the chat, and then we're gonna cut. We can put it in the chat tonight, and then we're gonna cut it down. We're gonna take out the 18 minutes, and we're gonna push that. All right. So Amanda, Quasi, y'all have it. So just put it out.
Put it in the chat now.
Have it. Put it in the chat.
All right. All right, go ahead, Abdullah. You got it.
All right,
Question.
Sherman's doing the field questions. Questions and comments. Questions and comments. Sherman will field questions and comments for the next 35 minutes. Raise your hand. Any questions or comments? Any points of clarity? Any points that need to be expanded? Well, the first point. All right, so we have the comment. I get remedy. I get remedy. And his presentation of getting remedy is that he got the traffic ticket dismissed. That he went into a foreign court, all right, i.e. Michigan State Court, and he got the traffic ticket dismissed, just like this. He's just like conscious Moors, who do this process. Their position is that they get remedy. So his position is, I don't need to present national. I don't need to discuss who I am. I don't need to present Moorish nationality. I don't need to use Moorish treaties. I get remedy. I got the traffic ticket dismissed. Shem, what say ye?
Well, here we go. How can one more go into a courtroom and win a small matter and benefit the whole nation? First of all, you're in the courtroom not claiming to be a Moor. That's number one. Remember that. Because if you're a counsel, you won't be there. You'd be the Department of National Affairs. That's the executive department. So how can you benefit and protect the people as a whole? Second, if there's a counsel, you're a counsel, you go to the Department of National Affairs, they would do diplomatic relationship with them and give a proclamation. It will go to all attorney generals of all the states and the agency. Therefore, everybody traveling, moving about with identification or vehicle or paperwork, it will be honored as a nation as whole. So you're not benefiting nobody but yourself. As a matter of fact, that's a one-time win because it happened over again because you don't have no protection. So every time this happens, you got to go in front of the court, ask the court, and tell the court, I go by common law. Who are you? Where your country at? Who are you? What you doing on the soil? How can you tie? You're not showing that you tied to the soil. And what happens is you make them piss off. I said it happened. You piss them off. They put you in handcuffs, and you want them in jail for like 9 years. They know who the hell you are. They know where you've been at for 9 years. And me, Abdullah, seen this happen. One guy spent 12, one guy spent 9 in the facility off traffic tickets over officers in the courtroom. Watch this. Now, nobody was able to come and get them. But hold on, listen to me. I'm talking about real reality now, real time. One of the guys said, nobody came and got me. Who will come and get you? You went there by yourself. You're 14, you're a resident, you're alien, you're a refugee. Who will come and get you? You're stateless. You go in the courtroom saying, you don't have a contract against me. Whoa, wait. Excuse me, let me say something. That's not how international law is set up. If the domestic courts in the public sector, there were citizens. In the private sector, in international law, there were nationals. So you say I forced their constitution. If you force the constitution, what gives you the right? What gives you the right to force their constitution? If you say you force their constitution, that means you saying the state is your mother. The state is your mother. That's what you're saying. Yes, you is. You saying the state is my mother gonna take care of me. My mother gonna nourish me. Therefore, you gotta be a child of what? The child of the state. If you're a child of the state, what that mean? You're property of the state. See, they don't look at all this stuff here. Now, hear me out. When somebody said, well, Shem, what's your basis of saying? I'm gonna show you. In the 1856 treaty, Morocco did with Great Britain. Matter of fact, probably the last treaty they did with Great Britain in 1856. The crown, the sovereign conquest crown, made it clear on political jurisdiction that if a Moor is charged over civil and criminal jurisdiction, the Moor got exclusive jurisdiction, the Mukti or the council. So here we go. If you know you're a conscious Moor,
Why are you in the courtroom? Why? Because you realize you will have a standing government here. Because we don't have a standing government, I understand you go into the role capacity as a ward. Why? No, it is, yes. Because you have a government, you have a political allegiance. We don't have a structure up yet. Well, you can nationalize to that structure and protect your status, your political status. So what you do now, you have to weaken yourself now, coming out to common, more subject status, and go in that courtroom, ask them to do something for you. And most people don't understand. If you buy a car for a dealership, I often say this: the dealership is licensed in the state of origins. Hear me out. They can't do business in a political jurisdiction without the state giving them permission. The moment you buy that car, that title is vested in the state treasury. Treasury. Hear me out now. The car is property of the state. It's a commercial value to that property. The state got the property sure. Once all the cars come on the manufacturer licensed in the state, the car dealer licensed in the state. The state put a value on all these cars and create a promissory note, go to their treasury, and the leverage of their promissory note. Therefore, become obligated state property. You drive a state property. Now, in order to go and use somebody's property, you have to get permission. See, this is where we understand contract law. You cannot drive another person's property unless you get permission. I'm a Moor, I can travel, but that's not your property. Who cares? If a ship pull in the dock, your political jurisdiction, and stuff come off there, who gives you right to use that person's merchandise without permission? Because I'm a Moor, I can do what I want. You're a criminal then. So that's a state property. The state requires you to have a license. Now watch this. However, and the treaty gives you certain protection and exemptions. Meaning that if I buy that car from that dealer doing business on my land, based on the treaty, if I buy that car, I can send that car to my motor vehicles department and give me my paperwork. I can get the insurance for my government's jurisdiction. See the political structure now. When that happens now, that's your exemption, your protection. The flag. The treaty say this should be a sign and a flag. All people in the vessel have papers. What's your papers? For your government. So you're going to drive a car and do something and say, you know what? They can't do that to me on my land. Yes, they can. The moment you step your foot in that car that's registered to the state, that's owned by the state, registered to the car dealership, that's a contract. They're saying, if you're going to use my property, my political jurisdiction, I want you to have a license. And you say, you know what? But I took this car, once I paid for it, and I transferred out of the jurisdiction of the state, United States, into my political jurisdiction. Therefore, the treaty says, the council say, wait a minute, you don't have jurisdiction, because the papers say the property went to the jurisdiction of a Moorish government. The Moorish government issued him papers. According to the treaty, all you need is a sign, a tag, and the papers. Identify, and nothing should be inspected in that vehicle, nothing. Now he forcing the treaty down. What happens when the day's done this way? What happens? Every Moor man and woman get protected. A child gets protected. Anybody questions?
Questions and comments?
They don't let you out of it.
Say it again?
It's really exhausting because all the work that we do to try to mitigate some of this, ridiculous enslavement, it never get accepted.
Sister Deanna, you said all of the work. I need you to qualify it.
Like we're becoming.
No, let me explain. Before you get. I need you to. You said it's exhausting. You said all of the work we do. So I need you to qualify all of the work we do. Look, and what Shim is talking about is all of the work we do in recovering our lost Moorish sovereignty. All of the work we do in recovering our lost Moorish sovereignty and re-entering the international community. Is that all of the work we do? Because I have not seen that. I have not seen in 30 years that. I've not seen all of the work.
We haven't done that.
All right, so that's what we want to be. That's what I'm saying. So therefore, we have not done the necessary work. We've done work, but we have not done the recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty work.
No, we haven't.
All right, we have not done organizing our people into national political structure work. We have
Yeah.
not done that. We have not done, re-entering the international community work. All right. So all of the work we've done is individual upon individual upon individual
Yes.
upon individual,
Yes.
individual upon individual. All right. I just want to be clear on all of the work we've done. All right.
Yes,
So this
and
is very, very
all of the
important.
individual work is not acceptable, and it doesn't bring forth change. I understand that. It's just hard to know what to do about being stuck in a situation where you shouldn't be in, and waiting for change for so long. So should we just continue on then like that and wait until we get this government and interim government set up? Or do we continue to do what we're doing, which is still pretty much battling with the different governments and counties and cities? And
All right. Let me 30 years of my observation and 30 years of my involvement, I've seen thousands upon thousands in my own eyes, though thousands upon thousands of unconscious Moors become conscious, get involved. I've seen Quasis, I've seen the Abdullah Beys, I've seen the Pakolas, I've seen them. They're active and focused and get financed and dedicated. And see, I've seen them 30 years. I've seen them for 30 years now. All right. What I've seen them, they run out of gas.
yes,
They run out of gas. All right. I'm no better than they are. I just have not run out of gas. But that don't make me better, please. That doesn't make me better. I just had not run out of gas. These are fine people. They're like Abdullah Beys. They're like Abdullah Beys. They're fired up like I was. I'm no better than they are. They just ran out of gas. When you presented misconceptions and are not put in a political structure and work and built a political structure, when you're guided to work individual upon individual, you're gonna run out of gas. I've answered over 200 calls in a 15-year period. People call me from all over. Abdullah, my paperwork doesn't work. This ain't S. Sugar, honey, iced tea. All right. F this force movement. You know what I mean? My job and these agents don't set my paperwork. Over 200 calls. Individual upon individual. So that's all the work you've been doing. All right. Here comes Shir Malachi Bey. Connecting with Abdullah Bey. I see the vision. I work with him. I said, oh, shucks. It's too fun. So we had not done the necessary work to recover our lost Moorish sovereignty. We had not been doing that.
that's true.
Any other comments?
And we are on that path. We are on that path. We have Abdullah Bey. We have Shim Malachi Bey. So that's what we're on this call for, because this type of information is the information that needs to be put out. So no, we are not teaching getting pulled over and what to say to the cops. And no, we're not teaching about this paperwork that's been going around. No, that's not what we're about. We're squashing misconceptions.
Let me address the pull off by the cops. What conscious Moors have been instructed by conscious Moors is to ask for a supervisor, not a Moorish council. Conscious Moors have not been instructed, all right, to ask for a Moorish council or consular. It's called consular notification. On the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page, we have 16 classes that deals with the Moorish Treaty Protection and Constellation. And we have about 2 or 3 of them that go in great detail about consular notification. I posted last week, and y'all have it, the list of topics that we have presented in the Moorish Treaty Protection and Constellation series course.
Uncover your mic. Uncover your mic, Abdul.
All right, what about now?
Go ahead.
All right, we did about 2 to 3 on consular notification. We did 1 or 2 on central authority. This is what's needed. This is what we're talking about: nationality and diplomatic protection, nationality and consular relations. This had not been the focus. He pulled over, license registration, Fourth Amendment warrant. You got Fourth Amendment, probable cause. Can I see your supervisor? No position of no consular notification. That had not even been taught. No central authority. So these principles have to be embedded in us, become stronger. And this is why we have in this advanced study group, and this is why we have the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page, those free courses. We also have paid classes. So we had not been doing, I say had not, I mean, we're doing it now. We had not been doing the necessary work. We're doing the necessary work now. I gotta drive that home. I gotta drive that home.
And see, we have not dealt with the parent. Like, for instance, when the Moors come together and form a national government, we would send a letter out to the Minister of European Affairs for Great Britain, France, and Spain, all the sovereigns, conquest parties. Now, in exchange, they are the ones that will do direct relationship with our ambassador. What you mean, Shim? All the law proprietors that were giving letters of grants, Spanish land grants, French grants, European grants and letters, the Penn family, all these law proprietors will be notified through the parent government that is a national Moorish government there. They have exclusive jurisdiction over their land, their political affairs, everything. I mean that when they claim a piece of property, it's a loaning deed, a deed by treaty. I mean, everything will be set in place through the government. Anytime a problem happens, you don't have to go to the courtroom because they'll have a jurisdiction. They're children, they're child of the parent. You go to the parent, establish a relationship. So when something happened, they all got proclamations. They got notice of this. So when that's set, everybody benefit like that. When you go into a courtroom, that's a disaster because if you fall there, nobody gets no remedy. The only thing that happens is if a wife loses a husband or child loses his father or mother, you get no remedy. Because you can't get a remedy for somebody that was given a remedy for their government, their parent government, who to conquest living on your land. So how can you get remedy for a person that's harming you, subjugating your people? What kind of remedy you can say, I said I'll make them force common law. Hold up now. Common law that they follow is only modified, revised law, Moorish law. What you mean? Your people became civilized and created all standard laws. Customs, that's all it means, culture. That's why they always bring up in the Supreme Court case that the old common law. What do you mean? That's for them. That's the law stemming from Europe, France, Great Britain, Spain, Dutchland, all these old sovereign nations that before they was considered as a state, their rights are embodied into what? The charters, the colony charters. That's all that means. And the laws of England, on the England Constitution, that's the common law. That's it. So the man said, I'll make them force common law. Wait. A contract. Now, see, we ask ourselves a question. Ask yourself, how you get in front of that judge, a courtroom? I got a ticket. How you get a ticket? You drive a commercial vehicle. Why did the cop stop a commercial vehicle? I had no tags on it. Okay. Well, you had no tags on it. Right there, it's a violation. Under their state law, you got to have a sign, a tag. Under Moor Treaty, a sign, a flag should be issued. That tag is your sign. Okay, so you got to stop. Now the cop stops. Got to see your driver license. Let's examine this. And your insurance papers. I don't have a driver license. I don't need one. I'm a Moor. That's what they say. All of this, you drop. I'm in my land traveling. Okay, you in your land traveling with somebody else's property owned by a state, a conquest state. And did I give you permission to drive that vehicle? The only way you can go in that vehicle and drive it, I want to teach now. The only way you go in that vehicle and drive it, if you go ahead and say, I'm going to buy a car. Okay, you walk in. The car dealer said, okay, you will buy this car? Yes. Can I see ID? You're looking for a former identification for political power, jurisdiction you're from, allegiance to. You have a state, you have a foreign ID card that he recognized. How? Because you got a relationship with the government, International Department of International Affairs, therefore you got a number identifying you in their database that you're a foreign national, a non-refugee alien. You show a non-refugee alien card. Okay, where's the card going at? The card is being transferred out to another state. You give them political jurisdiction of the motor vehicle transportation department of that state. The papers get transferred out of there now. So now the state does not have any more say so because the state have assigned it over to the other government. The other government becomes the assignee and the state becomes the signer. No rights no more. Now your country gives you the paperwork, gives you all the paperwork and your sign for your vehicle. And now when he stopped me that vehicle, excuse me, I want to see my counsel because you violated my rights. Now, things changed now here. Not a supervisor for somebody that's a citizen of the state, a resident. Not for that, not for one that's a national traveling to foreign jurisdiction. He said, I want to see my counsel. That means a cop have to stop, call his supervisor, commissioner, whoever she can call attorney general office, or call and say, I got a person out here that's a national. He wants to see his counsel. They have to notify the counsel. I'm gonna show you something happened to me one time. A sister in Virginia, right, got stopped. Cause I told her to do something, she did it, she got scared. She got stopped by a state trooper. Hear me out. She called me. She said, I want to talk to my deputy, my tribal government. He's my counselor. She called me up. I said, put the cop on the phone, put the cop by the phone. Excuse me. May I have your name, peace officer? Gave me his name, his badge number. Excuse me. Do you have delegation authority to take that car? Is it owned by the state? So he didn't know. See, if he knew, he could have had an argument. He said, well, I can't prove that. I said, excuse me, only thing you can do is ask her to leave the car because the state have not given permission to drive that car, but you can't tow it. If you tow it, that's theft. Under that's the law, that's the theft you committed. You broke the law. So she have a right to leave the car right there and call a tow company, tow her car. You can't tow it. No, he tow her. He's right. He's right. You just can't drive. I want you to proceed any more further and move in this vehicle. I say, remember, sir, I'm recording this. If you tow her car, you are theft. That's the theft you committed because you have no right to take that vehicle property. And I said, first of all, there was not a judgment or order given by any court or legislative body giving you the right to take that car. So he thought about it. She called back and said, you know what? They just told me stand right here. It was over. She said he was so scared he left. I'm showing you that the power of knowledge. Now hear me out. Just by her saying that she part of a foreign government, it's scared to pacify him, whoever he called. So that's why I say, why go to a courtroom and play with your life? That's what you're doing. You're playing with your life. You got no protection. But why do that when a council could go to the central authority under international law? That's the international tribunal. They got exclusive jurisdiction over all the states when it comes to the property, the nationality of a foreign national. The council issue orders, petitions, writs, and letterogatory summon. Everybody come with the information. When they come before the council, the only thing applied is real positive law, jurisprudence. When first time to make a statement, council, excuse me, we give you authorized jurisdiction over that national. What's the written law? You got jurisdiction over that national. First of all, it won't be the cop coming, it will be the attorney general. The attorney general says, I'm not coming because if he said the wrong thing, he can be sued. What you mean, Shim? That means now the Moors can sue them for apartheid and cultural genocide and subrogation. They don't want that because they don't tell you this right here. When a council sues a state, and get a judgment. All the council has to do is go to the International Chamber of Commerce Court, International Affairs of Arbitrator, and enforce that judgment. You hear me? He can take that judgment and attach it on a surety bond and put up in a trade platform that state will have bad credit forever. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you what I mean. All the
You mean
state
to tell me
revenue.
that you mean to tell me that they don't, you mean to tell me that a consul would not use Title 18 of the United States Code? You mean to tell me that a consul, a Moorish consul, is not supposed to use Title 18 of the United States Code and sue a cop in the United States court? And you saying that international, what did that say it again? Chamber or what? International what? Say that. So
Chamber
you
of
say so
Commerce.
it's not United States, it's not Title 18 of the United States Code, it's
Nope.
not Title 42 of the United States Code, and it's not United States Court. It's what? It's the what? Say that again.
And that's the Chamber of Commerce, and that's the Court of Arbitrators. Yes. You remember Abdullah some years back? I told you about that court of arbitrators. And that's the Chamber of Commerce, but they handle all international disputes dealing with judgments, liens, and decrees. See, this is why jurors, that's very important to have a jurist on board when you're doing this. You can't do, when you say Title 18, that means you saying that you are dealing in the political jurisdiction of the United States, the federal government. Why would the council depend on a local federal government? To him, no class. He gonna say, wait, excuse me. Your nation, your political nation, your corporate body, government called United States of North America, signed a treaty with Morocco. Therefore, it's an international agreement. How can you force an international agreement in a domestic court that's bankrupt in your country? So you have to know this stuff here. You have to know what's going on here. So what happens is that now, so how you gonna get paid? The council seal, that's how you get paid. Let me say something to you. So you understand this? See, even the Supreme Court would not enforce this on a writ of assistance. You know why? Because if it bankrupt the court, what they would do is they'd settle for you. They would settle out of court, meaning the United States ambassador would have to go before the arbitrated court of commerce and say, well, we got a judgment. Yeah, they didn't appear. You have to make arrangements to pay you now. This is how it goes. You see all that money sent to Ukraine, Israel, they will have to go to the Social Security Fund and start paying you under the Social Security Fund to pay that debt off. They won't tell you this though. Now I'm teaching you the real solution of jurisprudence, the proper way. If you're a government, if you're not a government, you're an individual, you never gonna get there. All you're gonna do is fame for glory. You want glory, you want to do the glory walk. Hey, I went there, I did this. I beat the child support court. Okay, watch this. What think gonna happen when you get out of the child support court? They're watching you now. They're watching you. Because you know what that means? You are a Negro on their plantation rising up. What they did back in the day when a Negro rise up with no protection? They beat him to death or lock him in a dungeon. Or they starve him to death. That's what they're gonna do to you. Or shoot you with a needle, put you in an institution, shoot you with a needle. Yeah. That's all they're gonna do to you. Keep playing with them. Shoot you with a needle, you on somebody, hey, what you call him? He on the streets down there talking to himself, shaking. The British are coming, the British are coming, the British are coming. Wait, mess him up. In all reality, you got no business in that courtroom. And somebody says, Shim, what if we got a problem? Shim, I understand. There's some situations that you got that there is no structure. It forces you to go in there as a domestic citizen, protect your rights. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, when you teaching that is a true sovereign remedy for the Moors, that's a fraud. That's not true sovereign. Only reason you're doing it because we have political jurisdiction. We have political structure set up. We're not set up right. That's why you're doing it.
Hey, Shem,
yes.
Shem, I want you, it's important that we continue to move forward teaching this because we'll never get there. We'll never, when we at the Academy of Providence, I started the classes in April of 2000. We had about 120 students or so. And those 120 students that we had were grouped into individual processes. As Shem talked on this level. You know, they continue to bring their individual process because this is new to them. This is new to them. All they know is individual process, individual process, individual process. That's all they know. So I continue to encourage Shem. We got to keep moving forward, Shem. Shem will never get there. We'll never get there.
I agree.
We'll never get there. We'll never, ever, ever, ever get there. You know, don't give into that, Shem. Don't give into that. Stay vigilant. We'll never, ever get there, Shem.
I'm going to say this
And
right here.
Shem has, I'm telling you, this brother, he always talks from day one. Moorish government structure from day one.
That's right. Anytime, let me show you something. The Kingdom of Morocco, right, had a problem with the French. The French is the agreement. I'm gonna give it to Abdullah. Abdullah read it. It's called the French. It's called Morocco and French Judicial Agreement. Hear me out. This is how it started. The French started usurping authority over the Moors and the kingdom. What the Kingdom of Morocco did was lock up the French authorities. Hear me out. Almost had a war. And say, wait a minute, you're not going to do this to us because we're a standing government, and lock the French authority up. What happened? French didn't go to war. What French did was institute diplomatic channels. They ambassador and drafted up an international judicial agreement. Understand me now. Here's what's going on here. Moore say that we'll have a remedy. I'm going to tell you something. When you analyze the law, watch this. You're Moor here, right? In the territory of Morocco, in the United States political jurisdiction. Hear me out. When France defeated the United States in 1952 case, the Act of Algiers and the Fez Treaty brought into play the Protector Treaty. Hear me out. Because when the Kingdom of Morocco claimed to be a state, hear me out. They claimed to be a state of Morocco. I mean, they're operating in the political jurisdiction of the Moroccan Empire. Therefore, the Kingdom of Morocco was left with the task to protect all the Moors' rights. But what happened was, don't anyone teach that. The French, the Kingdom of Morocco was in the capacity to protect all the Moors' rights because it served jurisdiction over the protector, not France. And what happened is, when the Moors get stopped, the Moors was not never taught that in school. That's why 19th century, it was very important that they teach in their kindergarten. No more subjects, no more history, nothing. Even Dr. King said he made a great mistake. When he sent the niggas to the public schools, he said, I sent the niggas to a burning house, destruction. That's what he's saying. They destroyed that. They definitely destruction because the schools are going to destroy their sovereignty, their birthright. He knew that. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, it's not on of and Shem. Even though
Give me a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You said give him a minute. What?
Yeah.
Is he still there?
Can't see Shem.
He stepped off. But he has 5 more minutes. Well, we want to continue. Ask the question, brother.
Yeah, just we're looking at obviously I'm in the UK and I'm looking at government structure. I've joined a political party over here. I'm elected as a councillor over here, speaking on the Moorish Treaties, speaking on we're not Moors, trying to get things into the school and that sort of thing. When it comes to political alliances, if something was to happen, we haven't got, as Shem was saying, a consul at or outside of Morocco, which, well, one could be set up outside, say, in the UK or sometime in Europe or outside of America, but there isn't one at the moment. Are you acting now as a temporary consul so people can actually start talking and laying some rules out for provisional sort of government over there?
No, we're not there yet, brother. We're not there yet. We're forging our way there to that level. All right. We have this upcoming conference. We have this advanced study group. We have this advanced study group. We've got quite a few members that just not on. You know, I sent it out to like 85 people today, and I'll send them the link. But we have upcoming Moorish governance conference here in Philadelphia on May 18th. So I'm not
did
going.
see that.
One thing Terrence knows, I'm going to be straightforward with you, brother. I'm not going to misrepresent our position, brother. I'm not going to say anything to make you feel good. I don't do that. I'm not in the business of making people feel good. I don't do that. All right.
I'm back.
All right. Go ahead. All right. So I'm answering the question. All right. Because I do
What's
ask
the question?
All right. Are we structured right now, today, this moment, this second, to deploy a Moorish ambassador to the UK? Are we this moment, this second, this right now? Are we structured? We mean you, Shem, Malachi Bey, myself, Makola, and Terrence. This group here. Are we structured right now?
No.
To deploy a Moorish ambassador to the UK right now?
No, absolutely not.
Some people going to lie. There's going to be conscious Moors. There'll be conscious Moors that will lie. Like I said, I'm not in the business. I'm not in the business of making people feel good. I'm going to be straight up. All right. There are conscious Moors. If you will lie to you, I'm using the word lie. I'm not changing my word. Because it's a lie. It's a lie. They will lie to you to make you feel good, to make you think that they're in a position that they're not. So they can get your coins. So you send a couple $100, thinking they're gonna lie to you, brother. I'm not changing the word. They're gonna lie. All right.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's fine. I mean, what you've been doing now, I can see that looking at the treaties and the law, and as Shem was talking about a classic law, talking about nations, the interaction with nations, how to use treaties to protect themselves. They're known as nationals, not colors, not crayons, and you have diplomatic relations on mutual respect and treaties, that sort of thing. So if I'm talking about it, I'm going to say it's the development. We're developing the government at the moment. So that'd be a true assessment of what's going on at the moment.
You want to stay with us, brother. Stay with us. Continue to develop and grow with us. All right. And build your knowledge base and also build your outreach where you are. And build your outreach where they are. Let them know about this study group. All right. Build your outreach. Do you have a so you and you're on my what's the name? So we'll help you build your outreach and your connection. All right.
Yeah,
but we're definitely not there right now. Shem, we're gonna say everybody's gonna say bye to Shem. All right, Shem has to leave. All right, thank you, Shem.
Oh, thanks, Shem.
Thank you, Shem.
Keep going.
Very much appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Very much appreciated, Shem.
Hopefully I'll see you next month if you're around.
All right.
That's fair enough.
So unmuted. So Terrence, we're gonna bring the material back up.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
I'm just gonna be straight up, man. I'm just gonna be straight up and direct and to the point about what our position is.
That's a good thing.
Like I said,
why that's important? Why is it a good thing? Let me spot. Why is that a good thing? Because I'm looking longevity.
Yes,
I'm looking to get the ear of ambassadors and consuls and stuff throughout the world. I'm looking to get the ear of the world. The ear of the world. I don't want to sound like Daffy Duck. I want to get the ear of the world. So if you start, sounding like Daffy Duck, sound like as if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're going to dismiss you. I'm not thinking short term. I'm not thinking short term. I'm going to say something to Castor here to make him feel good so he can send me $500. All right. That I'm not thinking short term, thinking long term sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing. You can hear it's sincere, and you know what you're talking about. You can research it, the treaties, the acts, the historical database. You can research it. So if you are sincere, when people do things or read things, it's for themselves. Once they read it, it's for themselves. They have it. No one can take it away, and you can grow that way. If everyone's sincere, you're telling the truth, you've got the same goals, and there's nothing to worry about. You just keep going. Just keep going.
Absolutely. You
Absolutely.
said you can grow that way. You
Mhm.
can't grow in misconception. You can't grow in misrepresenting your position. You can't grow like that. So they're not thinking long term.
Mhm.
They're short sighted. They're thinking, because they are meaning by not, all right, for instance, you have people, there are conscious Moors who say that we don't need to facilitate the will or consent of the people. There are conscious Moors, I'm not making none of this up. There's conscious Moors who say that you only need 5 people to form a state. 5 people. 5. So the population of people, you don't need that Shem Malachi Bey and Abdullah Bey don't know what they're talking about. Man, what you talking about political legitimacy and community outreach? I mean, man, forget Shem and Abdullah, man. I'm not making none of this up. Please, I'm not making any of this up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to make it up. I need to make it up before I talk to people. They say Shem and I don't know what he's talking about. Wait, political legitimacy. Fear the will of the people, consider the people, community outreach. Oh, that's a waste of time, man. You don't need 5 people to start a state. I'm not making any of this up. I said that to say this. That does not have sustainability. You are violating the principles of checks and balance, of safeguard measures.
Mhm.
They're structuring to steal from the people.
Mm-hmm. And it's been that way for a while, for a good while. It's like everyone talks about, these conscious Moors talks about government, and everyone wants to be the head. When we had United Res Publico, we were the only ones not claiming, the only body politic
Sure.
not claiming to be it, not claiming. We were the only ones doing outreach. We were the only ones doing outreach. We were the only ones doing. I mean, one thing I can say, and I tell Abdullah this to his face. Abdullah is, we're all human, but Abdullah is not. He's one that's not corruptible. Cannot corrupt him. One thing I love about Abdullah is that the same way you see him right now is that same exact way that he is in person. What he's doing right now, the same exact way, the way that he talks to Shem, he's that same way on and off screen. One sincere brother. It's my brother. Love him to the end. Abdullah, do you want to, what do you want to show next?
Yeah, we're going to continue with the presentation.
Okay.
We're going to skip past the education piece and irrigation piece.
Yeah, we're going to go to the relationship between sessions 1 and 2.
Yes.
Right, here goes. Right here. I think this is it. Can everyone
Yes.
see this? Oh, I'm sorry. We do have a hand up. Hold on. I'm
We have a
sorry.
hand up. All right, let's take that hand.
I gotta stop sharing real quick. Give me 1 second so I can see who it is. Commander. I'll lower your hand. You can ask your question. And your mic is muted. Okay.
Brother Commander, Habil, your mic is muted. Ask your question. Unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay. You might be all right, so we'll go ahead and move on until
All right.
His mouth is moving, and I just can't hear him.
oh there oh hold on. Let me
Habil, your mic is mute. You're muted.
I just clicked the button to X to unmute. So let's see what happens. He can probably hear us, but he's because I can see him responding, but
You're muted. You don't know how to unmute. You don't know how to unmute. All right. We can't hear you, so you just don't know how to unmute. You don't have a question. All right, we can't hear you. All right, we just gonna move on. All right.
all right.
He could put it in the message.
Yeah,
tell
put it in
him.
the chat. Yeah, you can put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm. That's Brother Michael. We have brother.
I think you got it. I think you got it. Let's try it.
All right, real quick. We got Brother Michael on. Brother Michael, we want to extend our condolences, Brother Michael. We have Brother Michael on. I want to extend my we want to all extend our condolences, Brother Michael, to the loss of your mother. All right? Extend our condolences and give a moment of silence. We're going to give a moment of silence, all right, for Brother Michael and his kinfolk. Thank you for joining us, Brother Michael, all right?
Peace, Brother
We're with
Mike.
you, brother.
Peace, Morris. Peace. Thank you so much. Excuse my tardiness. You know, I see a lot going on right now.
Oh, your mic is
Welcome,
muffled.
brother. Peace.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in transition. I speak louder. I don't know if anyone can hear me clearly. I was just wanted to say, thank you, Abdullah. I always support, what you got going on. This time is, is up in the air. Everything is just all over the place for me. But life goes on, and all the intricacies that come with it. But again, I thank you. So I'm just tuned in. It's by next week or the week after, I should be, fully acclimated to partake in its entirety. But thank you anyway in the interim.
We love you, brother.
Oh,
All
man.
right, so
A good brother there.
absolutely. Habil, you ready?
Thank you.
Yeah, I am, Abdullah. What I would like to know is, with all the Moors that we have here in Morocco and the ones who are stating that they are a government, there's no Moors here in Morocco that has any international standing, or do they just have national standing when they say that they're government here?
All right. All right, one, let me address that.
Mhm.
What the problem is, Habil, is that those conscious Moors, I know them, so I'm not speculating anything. Those conscious Moors have misconceptions. All right. The concept of the concept of statehood, that where they got that from. They got that from Shem Malachi Bey. So you have a brother who studied with us, who came to our meet and greet on March 24th, 2021, and Wilmington, Delaware. He took part of the plan, the Shem Malachi Bey's plan, to facilitate, proposal and to facilitate the restoration of a national Port Moorish government structure. among the Moors, and he has bastardized it. He's corrupted it. And he is the one that is pushing the misconception of you don't need political legitimacy. You only need 5 people. That's where that's coming from him. It's coming from one person, and he's directing that to those, they developing these different satellites under him, all right? And that false concept, because he's trying, I'm just being straight up, y'all, he's trying to beat Shem to the punch. He's trying to beat Shem to the punch. So he's in this, and so he's violating and teaching the violation of the principles of political legitimacy and trying to beat Shem Malachi Bey to the punch. And so he has told the people it's his plan. All right. One of the brothers that works with him, it's connected with him, brother in Georgia, told me that Shema and Abdullah don't know what they're talking about. It's Jay's plan. All right. So that's where that's coming. So you have that concept there. So you have a lot of misconceptions. And so you had a lot of misconceptions. One of the misconceptions, and this was a lesson that I was going to teach tonight, but I'm going to teach it the next session. This the misconception that Moors are part and parcel or part and parcel of the United States. That we, the people of the United States, in the preamble are the Moors. That that this is a dual national government. So those misconceptions that I taught for 25 years to thousands of people. So that's where a lot of the problems are right now. Is the huge misconception. This is why for the past 5 years that I worked with Shem in developing curriculum, developing courses, so that we have the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. We now have this advanced study group, so this is, I've sent it out to 85 people, and I'll send a recording out to that as well. So I'm saying that this is what we're dealing with, but that doesn't mean we can't overcome it. We have Sirius and myself and Terrence and the Picolas and the Quasis and the Akonos. We have the sister Sasha and her brother Monty and brother Michael and Kadim, ETC and Israel, ETC and ETC. They have grown and they're developing, where there is brother Lawson, so we have in others. So this is growing. So that's where we are right now. Once again, that's the state of the affairs. We have this upcoming conference. We have 10 those who are members of this advanced study group are either panelists or keynote speakers. So we'll continue to grow this. We are working with a brother Timothy, who's outside of Boston, who's going to help with our marketing, where we can market to 50 states and 33 countries, all right, as we live on May 18th. And he's going to help us in marketing on leading up to the conference and even after the conference.
All right, let me ask you this. Does the Washita, do they have political legitimacy internationally and nationally?
All right. Let me explain the misconceptions that Empress had.
Okay.
All right, the misconceptions that Empress had. Empress Ghostin. She called herself Empress Ghostin. And I didn't understand this until studying under Shem. That what Empress Ghostin did, she has a book, The Return of the Ancient Ones. I bought the book 29 years ago. Return of the Ancient Ones. What she did was she made the claim on a Spanish land grant. So she attempted to, with a Spanish land, that's conquest now. That's conquest. The Spanish land grant granted to her kin by the Spanish crown, all right, through conquest and colonization. The Spanish land grant is granted through Spanish sovereignty, extension of Spanish sovereignty on our land through Spanish conquest and colonization. Empress Goldston made the claim to land on a Spanish land grant. And then from that, she's claiming Moorish sovereignty, she attempted to usurp, to enforce or exercise Moorish sovereignty through a Spanish land grant. You can't do that. How do you're claiming to exercise Moorish sovereignty to the land, blood right ties to the land through a Spanish land grant. Please hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. This is where she was. All right. So we can understand where Empress Goldston's mindset was. All right, while she was living. How in the world can you take a Spanish land grant, grant it to your family, and then make a claim, a sovereign blood right claim to the land through a Spanish land grant, when the Spanish land grant is a condition of Spanish conquest and colonization of our land? I didn't understand that until Shem Malachi Bey.
Now, when you say conquest, are you saying through war? Or are you saying through battle?
All right. Let's. What is Spain? I'm going to ask you a question. What is Spain? What is Spain? What is Spain's relationship to this land? What is Spain's relationship to this land? What is Spain's relationship to this land? When Spain controlled California and Colorado and New Mexico and Mexico, all right. So what is Spain did that? Spain controlled California, Nevada, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, all right, Mexico, other parts of South America. Under what condition did Spain use? What was Spain's position in doing that?
Colonization.
Yeah, conquistadors, conquerors.
Reconquest of the Moorish land.
Absolutely. And so Spanish crown granted land grant to soldiers. They granted land grants to soldiers and families, of the Spanish subjects. What is that in relation to the land? Conquest and colonization. Spanish colonies, Spanish colonization. So the Spanish crown granted your family a Spanish land grant. The Spanish crown granted your family a Spanish land grant in 1620. Granted your family 5,000 acres of land. Under what condition are you holding that Spanish land grant? That's protected by the United States, but the United States will protect that. The United States is obligated. That's a personal right. Remember that Spanish land grant that's granted to your family, the 5,000 acres of Moorish land. That's the 5,000 acres you have in a Spanish land grant is Moorish land. So you hold Moorish land as under a Spanish land grant granted to your family in 1620. The United States is obligated because that's the personal right under conquest. The United States is a colonial arm and obligated to protect the interests of the Spanish land grant, all right, through treaty with Spain. So the United States is a continuation arm of conquest and colonization. So you hold the Spanish land grant not by blood right. The Spanish land grant is not blood right claim to the land.
Interesting.
Am I making myself clear? You see what education does? I was not here. As I told Quasi. I told Quasi today. I said, Quasi, you're developing faster than me. Remember, Quasi, I was in misconceptions for 25 years. You're 31 years old. 25 years of my life, from age 25 to age 50 up until 2019, and studying under Shem. I was in misconceptions for 25 years. I could have not done this 7 years ago. Explain what I'm saying now.
Yeah, so then let me ask you this, Abdullah. So you're saying that the Spanish are the true owners of those territories, while the United States are the trustees to the Spanish land grant?
No, they're not owners. You said true owners. The true owners are Moors.
The true owners are Moors.
Are Moors. No, the
Okay.
true owners are Moors. Spain's not the true owner of this land. They're conquerors. They're conquerors.
Okay.
They granted the Spanish land grant under the condition of conquest. They didn't grant the land. They didn't grant land grants as a rightful heir to the land. They are conquerors. So the conquerors are giving their soldiers who fought for them grants. It's not Abdullah says nothing. No, we're gonna stop that. Abdullah Bey's not saying anything. That's what the evidence reads. There's evidence. There's court cases. The United States had the land grant office. The United States Congress elected the land grant office. So you have the court cases in Colorado, Texas, New Mexico, California, Spanish land grant cases.
So did the Moors make an agreement with them, or they just ran over the Moors and
it's called conquest.
And created land grants and gave the land to their families?
All right, there is no agreement. There is no treaty. Yes, we have treaties with Spain, but there is no land cession boundary treaty whereby the Moroccan Empire granted through treaty land to Spain. There's no treaty. I mean, just got the evidence. No, I don't make anything up. We're not making anything up. Examine the evidence. Show me. If that's the case, someone says, well, Abdullah, you don't know what you're talking about. That means I shut up. Once they say I don't know what I'm talking about, I shut up. They got the floor. They got 30 seconds. They got 30 seconds to start presenting evidence. Meaning that Abdullah, Morocco do have a treaty with Spain granting land to it. All right, that means I shut up. They got 30 seconds to tell me where I can find it. 30. Only 30 seconds. I'm only going to it don't take that long. I mean, how long does it take to say it? How long does it take to say it? They ain't got to show it to me. Just say it. Just say where I can find it. How long does it take to say where I can find it?
No need to explain.
No explanation. Just tell me the source. That takes 3 seconds.
Absolutely.
You only need 3 seconds to at least present one source. 3 seconds. If they go on and on, well, no. You got 30 seconds, which is long enough. I'm giving you more than enough time. Because you're not going to play me.
Abdullah, back up just a little bit to the where you were explaining the Spanish land grant and how she claimed land under the Spanish land grant. So I just wanted to shed light on that. You're pretty much talking about you're looking at the chain. You're looking at the chain of like the chain of
custody.
title, pretty much.
Chain of title, chain of title, chain of custody, title, yes.
Absolutely.
I'm looking.
Okay, because that's what's confusing me a little bit. If this is Moorish land, then how did we allow them to be able to take it by way of no agreement and just
it's called war. It's called war.
That's what I was saying.
All right, I say war. You have the Inquisition against the Crusades against the Moors.
The Templars and stuff like that.
1080. No, because I'm giving you a reference point. I'm not
okay.
I said war. I have to give you a solid, researchable, documented reference point. It's called the Crusades against the Moors.
Okay.
So I want you to research that. And research the night orders. The night orders. You have my book. You have Moors and Masonry. It's in Moor. You have the book. You have Moors and Masonry. Part 1.
Okay.
They have the night orders. Europeans put funding. Aragon, Castile, Portugal, France, England, Sweden, the Dutch Republic, and so they put funding into establishing night orders, whereby they took advantage of our weakness, of our division. So their focus is meaning that this mission that they have today is that of the Crusades against the Moors. They never lost sight of that.
Okay.
They are maintaining to crusade against the Moors. And all that they do, they're maintaining it. We just don't know who we are. They have a common mission.
Advantage of our being divisive.
Well, what our being divisive today is our massive ignorance, which they help foster. They foster our massive ignorance, which keeps us divided. We have to understand what keeps us divided. You have to understand what keeps us divided. Our massive ignorance keeps us divided. So what's the remedy? What's the remedy?
We have to come together.
Education.
Knowledge.
Education.
Knowledge, yeah.
Erudition.
No, not erudition. No, we don't want that.
Political unity.
Yeah, through education. Through education.
Yeah.
You facilitate political unity through education. Yeah, we're not. I mean, we are rough around the edges, but we want to tap in. We want to tap into our innate ability. We want to tap into our people's innate ability.
Indeed.
And that is called education. The process of tapping into our people's innate ability and talent is called education. Erudition is someone who's rough behind the edges. All right. Someone that you have to, through discipline, all right, have to develop, who's rough behind the edges, meaning that you're not tapping it. Erudition is not tapping into one's innate ability.
All right, we have Amanda Siegel.
Yes, I just wanted to add from the Oxford Public International Law Journal, the definition of conquest says conquest is a concept of classic international law. Its relevance is contemporary international law will be discussed later in this entry. The Permanent Court of International Justice defined conquest as a cause of loss of sovereignty when there is war between two states and by reason of the defeat of one of them, sovereignty over territory passes from the loser to the victorious state. And it uses Eastern Greenland case at 47 as an example. And then I don't have the rest of this part, but it says conquest, strictly so called, is therefore a derivative title of acquisition of territorial sovereignty, territory acquisition, and then it goes on. And I don't have an account to unlock that. I can see if I can figure out how to get the rest of it, but that's just what we were talking about.
Oh, is that physical war? Physical? Are they saying physical war?
It's physical war, brother. Physical war, yes. Knights fight knights. Yes, physical war.
The name of that battle was the Crusades?
Yeah, Crusades.
Okay.
Crusades, 1080 to 1235.
Okay.
The Crusades against the Moors. And and you'll see that when you look up night orders, that those night orders were established to fight against the Moors. And today they're used as fraternal orders, or charity orders, the same name. Knights Templar, Knights of Malta, Knights of Calatrava, hospital, the word hospital. The word hospital is the name of a night order. The hospital is the name where Pecola works. The hospital, that's the name of a night order. Established, and that order was established in the late 1080s. The Knight of St. John's of Hospitaller. The Night Order of St. John's of Hospitaller. That's the name of a night order, hospital.
Now let me ask you, were we taken by surprise or we forewarned? You know, how did it jump off?
No, we fought them. We fought them in battle, but what they did was they united their forces. We fought against meaning that the Uber the you have the different Moorish dynasties. You know, the Abahad, the Abbaside dynasty, the
Right.
Umayyad dynasty, but those dynasties did not work together. One dynasty
Oh,
took
okay.
another dynasty, took over another dynasty.
Okay.
Whereas the Europeans worked together. They worked together, they fought each other, but they have, I mean, against us, I mean, they came together to bring us down.
Mm.
And they stay together to keep us down.
Yeah, we caused our own division and they conquered.
Yes.
And in Florida, at least, they have the child welfare services being provided out of a building that has the Sovereign Order of St. John of Jerusalem Knights of Hospitaller across it, rather than the name of the actual agency, ChildNet, as an example.
You know, that's established by the night orders. That night order.
So basically, these night orders are still active right now.
Well, Stern, once you defeated people, you know, and got them on, and done it, when you subdued them and got them under control now, all right, now you got to maintain it. I mean, because you got to maintain it, i.e. schools, i.e. churches and mosques, and things, got to maintain it. So they maintain it by what? Through schools and churches and the media, all right? We continue to what? Indoctrinate us. That's how they maintain it. They mean we've subdued already. They subdued us. We're subdued. We're defeated at war. We're subdued. So there's no need to continue. I mean, you just got to maintain it. You know, cops and, you know, churches and schools, and yeah, that's how they maintain it.
Right. Also, linguistic genocide.
Yeah, that's the school, linguistic genocide. Linguistic genocide is what pushed into schools. Absolutely. That's linguistic. The whole curriculum is linguistic genocide. Dictionaries, Bibles, interpretation of Bibles, you know, dictionaries. That's part of linguistic genocide. Those are the tools.
Yeah, a fraudulent conveyance of English language.
Linguistic genocide is used to construct meaning, to construct new meanings. That's what linguistic genocide is. And then, of course, we are used as their agents. You know, we're used as their agents to maintain the conquest and colonization of our own people. But we don't, you know, they just, you know, because they control our land and resources, we need jobs. Because we only need jobs because they have control of our land and resources. They control our land and resources. They indoctrinated us. So this is why we need to facilitate a Moorish national government structure to serve as a voice, meaning that we can bring forth human rights violation. Let's not bring up more right now. Let's not bring up more. Let's not bring up more, because I was told 30 years ago that we as conscious Moors cannot speak for unconscious Moors. I never, ever, 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 sometimes agree with that. How can we speak for unconscious Moors, Abdullah? Easy. Address the fact that Black is not a nationality. Address the fact that Black, Negro is not a nationality. Address the fact that color is not a nationality. Address the fact that African American is not a nationality. Go to the United Nations Human Rights Proclamation 1948. Article 15, Section 1. Everyone has a right to a name and nationality. United Nations Declaration of the Rights of the Child, 1979, Principle 3. Every child at birth shall have right to a name and nationality. So Black being placed on these job applications, school applications, hospital records, that is a human rights violation. So we can address, as human rights defenders, as human rights defenders, doggone it.
So,
Black
brother
is a
Abdullah.
No, I want to make sure we clear now. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Once again, I was told 30 years ago that we as conscious Moors cannot speak for unconscious Moors. We can address the fact in government structure that Black, Negro, colored, African American, through constructed fraud placed on hospital records, school records, and TCC, is a human rights violation. It violates the United Nations Declaration of the Child. It violates the United Nations Human Rights Proclamation that every child have a right to a nationality. I always disagree that we couldn't speak for conscious Moors.
What's
Go ahead,
puzzling
brother.
me, Abdullah, what's puzzling me is, can a national stand on fictitious rights like human rights and civil rights to be able to get political legitimacy and sovereignty in a corporate structure?
No, so in a corporate structure,
yeah.
What corporate structure? I don't know when we say
Is the international body that we're going to demand on command that genocide has been done against who they refer to as Negro, colored, Black, African Americans through trickery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm saying I was taught that a Moor can't stand on human rights and civil rights because those are rights that are granted to us, to Negro, colored, Blacks by them. And we have our rights have to be inalienable, natural, inherent, and substantive outside of those rights of Negro, colored, Black, African Americans.
All right, let me. I want you to hear me again, brother.
Okay, I'm with you.
Please.
I'm with you.
I want you to be with me.
Yeah.
All right. Nationality ain't granted to them, us. They don't. Nobody. They don't. Spain didn't grant us our Moorish nationality. France, England, they didn't grant us our Moorish nationality.
Yeah, so something we declared and declaimed.
No, what I'm saying is, as a strategy.
Okay.
As a strategy, millions of our people don't know that they're Moors.
Right.
As a strategy, I'm saying, don't make the Moorish nationality the first issue.
Okay.
Make the issue that Black is not a nationality. Negro is not a nationality. Colored is not a nationality. Black, African American is not a nationality. They are listed on documents, on state records, in state agencies, on all county, city, all levels. That is a human rights violation. Meaning, whether they know who they are or not.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, this as a strategy isn't a fact that Black's not a nationality. Is that a fact?
It is a fact.
Negro isn't a fact. It's not a nationality. Let's not talk about what it is. All right. Let's not talk about what it is. Let's talk about what it's not first.
Right. It's not a nationality. You're right. Right.
On that, you make the human rights argument. Make the argument on what it's not. They have a right to a nationality. So what is their nationality? What I'm saying, we know they don't know it, but we can make the argument that Black is not because that's a human rights violation, brother. That's dehumanizing for a governing body, i.e. the United States, to have to through constructed fraud, to construct instruments, to construct the race and ethnic status for federal statistics administrative reporting, and have Black.
I get it now. I get it now.
White,
I get it. I get where you're going.
We didn't do that. They did that.
I get what you were saying now.
They constructed fraud, brother. That's a human rights violation.
I was
It's
just
a human
thinking
rights
that.
violation, brother.
I was just thinking that wouldn't it be better for the Negro, Black, and Coloreds to make that claim instead of Moorish nationals?
Brother, they don't know who they are, brother. How can they? Brother, hear me out. Brother, I hear what you're saying. How can they? I'll tell you what, I'm asking you. How can they? You tell me how. How can they?
Well, because even if we educate them and
No,
teach them.
don't do that. Don't do that. No,
What,
don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do, even if you can educate them. I want you to, right now, talking about today, this second, this moment, right now, this second. How can they? Brother, don't talk about no educating them out. You said, no, you,
I mean,
so I'm saying, no, but the point I'm making, Habil, I want you to think about what you're saying. That's all.
Am.
So in thinking about what you're saying, I'm asking you, how can they make the argument themselves? Right now, today, this moment.
What I'm saying is they can't until they be educated.
Oh, so that means
who they are.
Means you and me and those on this panel, on this class and others, and government structure, what, can make it for them.
Okay. But I get it.
All right. Don't be dancing together. I want us to dance so we can do the waltz. The waltz and the bop. And...
I appreciate that.
All right. I just want to stimulate thinking, brother. I just want to get you to think. That's all.
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah. All right. All right. Any other questions? Comments?
Yeah. I got one, but I don't want to go too deep off subject. But I was talking to you yesterday about what was it? Human rights versus civil rights. I'll tell you about. I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about the difference between human rights and civil rights, and that human rights are more important than civil rights. Can you break that down? We was talking about that.
All right, but I want you to I want you to tell us what he said first. All right, let's all right. I want to know what he said. Your friend. I want to know what your friend said.
No, he was just saying he wanted to discuss. He wanted to discuss civil rights, and I just told him we should discuss human rights.
All right, but why does he want to? All right. Let me stop there. I don't think that I'm just going by pure logic. That I wasn't in the conversation, but I don't think that your friend just came out and said, "I want to discuss civil rights," just by understanding logic. That what led up to him, what led up to his saying, I want to discuss civil rights. Lead us up to that. Lead us up to the point of his saying, I want to discuss civil rights.
I mean, he's in here, the brother want to speak, or I can go through the messages. Let me see.
Because we gotta place the conversation, you gotta place it in context. We want us to give us the context of the conversation of what led up to his saying or writing or texting, or singing or dancing or whatever, that I want to discuss civil rights. That would be more logical, right? And make the conversation more fruitful and beneficial.
We were talking about building on my platform, and we were talking about ideas we could discuss with the people to build on my platform. And the conversation came up about government and politics, and then he went into civil rights. And so then I mentioned human rights. And that's when I reached out to you and was like, can you give me a couple examples for an unconscious brother or unconscious Moor that I could help on the concept of human rights?
All right. So what you now do is give him the Article 15, United Nations Human Rights Proclamation, Article 15, Section 1. Everyone has a right to a nationality. Also, so you got to present something solid. You're going to have a solid foundation. Also give him the 1979 International Rights of the Child, known as the Declaration of Rights of the Child, Principle 3, every child at birth has a right to a name and nationality. Give him called Francois Bernier, Nouvelle Division de la Terre, New Division Earth, those classifications. Carl Linnaeus, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, show him the origin of the classification of black, white, red, brown, and yellow. Boom.
Indeed.
You got to go because you got to give him solid. All right. Then you raise the question that then you give a list of nationalities. Present a list of nationalities and their connection, as I text you, that of France, connection to land, constitution, the national name of the people are embodied in the national French Constitution. So make that connection, and then you say, well, what is missing here with black? So now you have already given him the origin of the classification of black, red, brown, and yellow and white. You're giving that to him. So then you look up civil rights, then you look up human rights, because you got to educate him. Look up civil rights and look up human rights. Give him human rights defenders. Give him a list of human rights organizations. And what do? List of human rights organizations and what these human rights organizations do. All right? Because you got to have a basis of discussion. You got to have a solid basis of discussion. All right? This is for everybody, y'all. This is for everybody. This is dealing with critical. This is not just for a Kono. This is part of critical thinking and analysis. You got to give them you got to have a solid basis of discussion when you're pulling from references. All right? Have your discussions based on references and sources, solid sources. Right. Where you're not just doing freelance. Don't do freelance. Don't do freelance. Don't pull out of the sky. Don't pull out of your, your ASS. Don't pull out of that.
But let me ask you this, Abdullah. Are those their classifications?
Or those, say again?
Are those their classifications, human rights and civil rights? Because I don't think those classifications are universal classifications. Right. Because if I go to a tribe won't describe themselves as that.
All right. Once again, have ill. Yeah. Our people don't know who they are.
I understand that.
Focus. I don't want to focus on you going to a tribe right now. Millions of our people are classified as black, Negro, colored, and African American, and Watts, and New York, and Boston, and Houston, and Chicago, and Philadelphia, and Delaware, and Connecticut, and so forth. All right, St. Louis, and so forth, in these different cities. Millions of our people are classified. We got enough work to do. We have enough work to do to reaching out to those millions who live in Watts, and St. Louis, and Philadelphia, and Boston, and Compton, and South Chicago. We got our hands full. Let's address the dehumanizing and human rights violation of Negro, Black, colored, and African American.
That's denationalization, right?
Yes, but I'm saying, my point is that you were saying if I go to a tribe.
Right, saying, and a tribe won't describe themselves as being human beings. They won't describe themselves
you're missing my point, though.
Kind of human rights.
But you're missing my point, though. You're missing my point.
All right.
I'm saying don't focus on going to a tribe. Focus on going to the inner cities where millions of our people have been classified as Black, Negro, colored, and African American. I mean, we have enough work to do as it is. You got a large field to work with. Watts, St. Louis, New York, Boston, Philadelphia. You got a Chicago, Houston. You got a large field to work with. I rest my point.
I'll talk to you on the side about that, brother.
No, I don't want you to talk to me on the side about that. No. I want you to understand. You understand the point now, because your focus is going to tribe, and I'm saying that our people, Moors classified Negro, color, Black, and African American are not on the tribes. They're in inner cities by the millions. They're in inner cities by the millions.
Right.
They should be getting our water, huh?
Yeah, worried about a pipe that doesn't relate.
I mean, that we got enough to deal with right there. They're in Brownsville. How many in Brownsville, where I was?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Can we get them? Can we reach out to them in Brownsville? Can we reach out to them in Brownsville by the thousands?
Right. But all I'm trying to say is, once we reach out to them and they do come home and recognize that they Moors, can we go to the international body?
That is tremendous power. Brother,
hold on. Can we go to the international powers and claim a classification that they created to be able to get restoration of Moorish sovereignty?
I need you to think about your question though. You said once we reach out to them, I mean by the millions.
Okay.
That's tremendous power.
So we need millions to establish a population.
No. I'm going by what you said. No. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. You said once we reach out to them.
Right.
I'm going by what you're saying.
Okay, I'm listening.
Once we reach out, meaning, all right, when I said Watts, Chicago, Philadelphia, Houston, Boston, New York, all right, and then you piggyback on what I said. You said once we reach out to them, in Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Watts, Chicago, once we reach out to them, that's tremendous power. That's what I want you just to think about. What you said.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm in agreement with you, Abdul. I'm in agreement with
you.
No,
but then we can move on. Then we can move on.
So then you say once we reach out to them and get that population, then we can cross that bridge.
But you said that. I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. You said that.
All right.
You said that though. No, I didn't say that. You said that.
Okay.
You said once we reach out to them, then we can. Yeah. How can we go? No, you said that. Then how can we go? But I want you to recognize what you actually are saying. Once you reach out to them, you're facilitating tremendous political, economic, cultural power. That's what I want to get you to recognize.
Okay. All right, I got you.
I just want you to analyze what you're actually saying, though. That's what I'm saying, brother.
All right.
Yeah, this is what I do. I facilitate thinking, just pause, look at what you're actually saying, and analyze what you're saying. All right, next question.
All right, we have 9 minutes here.
9 minutes. All right, so this I want to make, we have 9 minutes. This video, the video that we did last week, the first session video and material can be shared on your social media platform is that inviting people to a group, you got to clear it by me. But you can share the video and the material to anyone. You can share the video and material to anyone and any of your social media platforms. Are we clear on that? You just can't invite people to the group without clearing it with me.
All right.
Clear.
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 All right, good. All right, so when this video is available, I'll send it out. I'll send this video out and I'll send the material out. I'll send the material out because I do have stuff that we, but I'll send the material out that we're showing. It's more. I'll put that send out tomorrow morning through email. All right, any other questions because we got 7 minutes now.
When one says, like if you're having a conversation with conscious Moors, and they you go into the treaties, you're telling them about the treaties, and they say consuls go to foreign countries. So if we have a consul, we're saying that it's not our land. Well, how would you deal with this?
All right. One, you said foreign. The word foreign comes up. So that person is not efficient in international law. Because foreign is being a word of art in international law. Foreign does not refer to distant. Foreign refers to jurisdiction. So when the average Joe is not schooled on international law, they're all right. The average Joe worldwide, this is worldwide, when they hear the word foreign, they immediately think offshores. They think off the lake. They thinking that and not, jurisdiction is not in their mind at all. But someone as an ambassador, a consul general, someone who is schooled in international law is also schooled in the meaning of reference of foreign jurisdiction. Jurisdiction. All right. I go into Dunkin' Donuts. I go inside Dunkin' Donuts. That Dunkin' Donuts is foreign to me. That's a foreign in relationship to Morocco. That's a foreign jurisdiction. That Dunkin' Donuts, the citizen was built by citizens of the United States and residents of the state, licensed with the state of Pennsylvania. That's foreign. And I'm inside of it. And this is where Moorish treaties come in. So I'm saying, so foreign doesn't refer to, it's important that we come to understand foreign equals jurisdiction. Foreign equals jurisdiction. And so that's something, so you have to relay that to them, quasi. That's foreign relates, that's one point. So you put that. Second point, quasi, and all of y'all, is you have to show the zones. You have to show the Louisiana Purchase Treaty. You have to show the Guadalupe Treaty. You have to show the 1818 treaty between France and the United States. You have to show the 1780 treaty between Great Britain and the United States. So you have to show the continuation of English, French, Spanish conquest and colonization of our land. And you have to show survey maps. The survey maps that the Dutch developed, all right? Survey maps. You have to show the name of New York, Georgia, the name of Georgia in the Georgia colony charter. And what does that mean? The name of Georgia is patent in the Georgia colony charter. So what does it mean to say that this land is Georgia? What does that mean? So you have to explain in survey and land boundary cession treaties, survey maps, political territorial jurisdiction. So you have to give them, give the analysis, territorial sovereignty, conquest, loss of sovereignty, survey maps, land boundary cession treaty, ute patridis juris. You have to, and unless they understand these concepts, they're not going to understand what you're saying. So you have to explain it with an analysis. I mean, loosen it up, give them the component parts. You got to explain the component parts. Loss of sovereignty, English conquest, Spanish conquest, ute patridis juris, land boundary cession treaties, survey map. You have to explain it through analysis. You got to explain the component parts that I work.
Okay.
If you do not, they're not going to understand.
All right. I just want to show something because we only have a few minutes, and I just want to back up just a moment to the word foreign as it's not distance, it's jurisdiction. So I looked up real quick embassies in Washington, D.C. And if y'all see these here, Embassy of Afghanistan, excuse me. So if you go to the Embassy of Afghanistan in Washington, D.C., and you step on that embassy, you are in Afghanistan.
Absolutely.
You are no longer in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely not.
So
You're
I just
absolutely
want
right.
to give that. I just wanted to give
Great.
that.
Oh, great. See how Terrence, see, now you see this? See, do study, and how Terrence was able to bring that point to support what I was saying through study. All right? He's absolutely correct. So you go inside the embassy, you're not in the United States. That's Afghanistan. That's in Afghanistan.
This right here,
Absolutely.
they show you this on movies, and we look at it as pure entertainment. Where guys would, the cops would be standing outside the embassy, but they can't touch them.
Nope.
This is exactly why. This is why they have the diplomatic tags, the legit diplomatic tags on their vehicles. Those cops cannot, they cannot touch those vehicles. So, but anyway, I want to show the
excuse me, Brother Karen. Would that also apply to embassies international? Because when I was in the United States Marine Corps, I was a Marine Corps security guard, and I guarded the American embassy in Kuwait. So would that be the jurisdiction of America, or would that be a jurisdiction of Kuwait?
If jurisdiction of the United States.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jurisdiction of the United States.
Absolutely. It is international. This
is international. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is international.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Abdullah, I want you to talk about this real quick. I'm gonna share the screen, the flyer here.
All right. Yes. Upcoming. All right. We have Save This Date coming May 18, 2024 here in Philadelphia. The Moorish American Governance, Birthright, and Nationality Claim Conference, Political Unity. All right. Here we see here Article 1, Section 1 of the United States Universal Declaration of Human Rights states everyone has a right to a nationality. So saying that put the focus on that of human rights. That's a benefit. Pushing that benefits our people. That benefits our people. This is what they've been burying. Here we go. From Moor's misnomers: Black Moor, Black Moor in 1560 Geneva Bible, Black Moor in 1599 Geneva Bible. I'm saying that the nationality argument is a powerhouse for us. This is what the Albions have been burying for so long. It is a human right, meaning that use the instruments to our advantage. Like it's almost as if someone's trying to put brakes on it before we even get started. Like they're making these claims. I want you to challenge them. Have ill challenge them.
Okay, no, I understand now. I understand where you're going now. Yeah, I understand where you're going.
Have ill. They're making these outlandish claims. Supported. Have ill.
Well, no, you're right. I see it.
Do not allow. No, that's so for future. Going forward, have ill. Do not allow anyone to make a claim without you challenging them to present the evidence to support their claim. I mean, they make the claim, you say support the documentary evidence to support your claim, then you close your mouth. And they got 30 seconds, only give them 30 seconds. Give them only 30 seconds to at least give a source. When they start going on and on and on, they're BSing you, brother. They're BSing you.
Okay.
All right, it's 9:02.
All right. I love every one of y'all. Please, we're gonna make this the first video, the second this one here in the material. Post on your social media platform. You can post on your social media platform. You can share it. You can share the material and the video. You just got to consult me to invite people to the group, as Akono did, as Pocola did. Consult me to invite people to the group.
But that May meeting, did you finally get a hotel or something?
Oh yeah, Terrence, I wait for Terrence, they didn't call me back, but yeah, we did. We have a hotel. We have a hotel. So I'm just trying to find out the group rates. We do have a hotel, yes, Deani, Sister Deani. All right, so I'm gonna call the hotel tomorrow, Terrence.
All right then.
I just been so busy, working on this tweet all today, and then yesterday, because actually what I was supposed to be present today, I worked on all day yesterday, so in a couple of days, and I didn't present today because I came across the video that that video that we played today. I said, oh, this would be great to present. So I actually rearranged every day. So I had to spend 4 hours today preparing, for the day. And then I had a meeting with the we had a live one day, and that was like all day with the brother who's going to be broadcasting live, marketing us, Brother Timothy. So I just been so busy, so I forgot. I'll call him tomorrow. They're supposed to call me. They never called me. So we were on it.